Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Earlier this month, while browsing the internet, I was targeted with an ad concerning a product that the algorithm thought I might like. And in this case, they were right. I was very interested in it. So I bought it. It was from a yarn company that I'd come across multiple times, but I never used before, called Darn Good Yarns. And they were offering a $75 yarn mystery box. So I thought it was a good time to actually try out some of their product without really having any plan for what their product was going to be. Especially since the $75 was the sale price. It was originally $100. And it arrived earlier yesterday. So I'm going to open it up on this video and give my opinion on what I see inside. I should also mention that this is not a sponsored video. I gave my money to them in order to buy their product. They did not give me any money as a result of this. So I'm not being paid to show you any good opinion for this. So here it is. This is the $75 mystery box. Now it looks kind of big when you hold it up to my head, but I was expecting this to be about 3 times bigger. So I'm trying not to let the packaging be too much of an indicator of what's inside, although it does feel pretty dense. So I'm hoping there's some good yarn inside, but we're reserving judgment. Although I do like the fact that they mentioned the bag's made with recycled material and is recyclable. It's good that we have more sustainable things going forward. Yeah. Now, to set expectations for this bag, I had the opportunity to personalize what I wanted inside. I did not put anything down. I decided it was going to be a complete crapshoot. What they sent me is what they sent me. They also had 2 options. One where you could get a mystery box with a bunch of the skeins being very similar to each other, so you can make clothing, and one that's more just full of novelty yarns with odds and ends, and I chose the odds and ends bits. Also, this is not a wool-based yarn box. This was advertised as wool allergy friendly, which, while I don't have a wool allergy, I'm not a big fan of wool. So it means I'm more likely to like the type of yarns that are inside. Alright, time to open this baby up. I'm assuming the ledge is here for me to open it up by the ledge. Or, part of the difficulty... Sorry, I just got a new microphone and I realized I'm opening this up right by the microphone, so it's about to be super loud. But the challenge is going to be opening this up without ruining any of the contents inside. Alright. Woo! Alright. It is in some sort of scarf. There's also something else inside. Oh, this is my receipt. Oh, we're not going to look at that yet. It's telling me what yarn's inside. And, there's a nice little thank you note. Thank you for shopping with us and supporting our small business. Your purchase helps us continue to provide safe and clean working conditions for women in India. Cool. Make the world a cleaner place. Oh, it's sustainably made, fair trade focused, inclusive sizing for all. I guess it makes sense that they're mentioning this because, when you look at other things for, Darn Good Yarn, they also mention, they also sell clothing. I don't think they sell just yarn, and I think I got everything out in this bag. Okay. So I'm guessing this is part of, this scarf is like part of the thing. This is so soft. Say, Furoshiki wrap, 28-inch square. Check out different ways to wrap. Okay. I'm not much of a scarf wearer, but that's also because I don't really work in conditions that allow for like flowing clothing, but that could be changing. We'll see. Let's see. Yeah. Made by artisans in India. Okay. It's made with 2 knots. It's already good that there's this environmental focus too, because I know like so much of like, I'm guessing when you're making yarn, lots of clothing, it's like tied in with the fast fashion industry, so you can get like a bunch of like clothing, like this, we're trying to go towards more sustainable clothing in the future for the health of our environment. I'm guessing if we're crafting, we want to go the same route too. Ooh. Ooh, what's this? Triple twist weight yarn. Start with love. Okay. Provide 600 artisans in India and Nepal, provide safe working conditions and livable wages to all, something that's not always available. To plant as many trees as possible. That's... Ah. Our yarn and apparel are handmade by artisans from reclaimed sari silk material. I mean, when I bought this mystery box, I wasn't really aware this was part of the process. And oh, something just fell into my lap here. But just looking at the yarn in general. So this is say what this is. 50 grams, 110 yards. Okay. This is recycled silk. This is why this is very soft. It's like one of the first things I noticed when I saw this was like, wow, the like colors are very vivid. It's like great color combinations, like the pink and the green and the blue. I love how silk feels. This part is probably the first non-sustainable thing I've seen in here. I don't know if there's a proper way to recycle this plastic part, but they needed a way to hold this on. It does seem like it's a little bit pilly, but I mean, when you have reclaimed stuff, you're going to get, it's not going to be super neat. It's going to have little bits and pieces inside because they're not using like the stuff from the first go around. And this also fell into my lap, and oh, it's the same thing. I was thinking like the width of this is probably enough to make a set of socks. So if one's enough to make one sock, you got your buddy to make another sock. What's this? Oh, a stocking stitch marker pack. They have it in green. It's nice I'm seeing so much green in here because I did not tell them the green was my favorite color. Oh. Cute. Very cute. Oh my gosh. Just like... They're basically safety pins with a charm on them. So they have 5 of them here. This is a definite, like, upgrade from what I usually use. Like, for reference, this is my typical stitch marker situation. So, really cute designs on the socks. All right. And then we have buttons. The touch of the buttons, giving employment to women in South Africa, handmade fully washable buttons. This feeling is like terracotta clay. Or like clay that you bake in a kiln. It looks like, I can't tell this, like it feels like there's some sort of glaze on here. Like more like a matte glaze. Not on the actual like white part, but wherever there's black, I feel like maybe it's some sort of slip glaze, would be my guess. Strangely enough, I'm not the biggest button fan. Usually, I only really put buttons on things if I absolutely have to. I will go out of my way to avoid putting buttons on things. And usually when I get buttons, I need a lot of the same type. So I will probably end up having this for a long time before I actually end up using them for something. But the sheep are adorable. There's a lot of not yarn related things in a yarn mystery box. But it's like a notepad for crafters. 5 by 5 inches, which honestly, the fact that they gave me a perfect square makes me more inclined to use this for origami than for anything yarn related. Because they gave me a perfect square. It's nice if they mention where it was made, though. This was made in China. Oh, actually. No, that's not. Something fell out of there. Oh. They gave me a $100 wine voucher. I don't really drink. As I was saying, like, I was wondering if they were like similar designs, and the designs themselves are similar in style, but they're not exact, but the colors are the same. Anyway, I see more yarn, which is exciting. So, ooh, I have this nice blue yarn. Like, finally, we're back to the yarn, the whole point of the box. No dye lot, hand dyed. Okay, 100 grams. This is sport yarn. Waves of cotton yarn. This is cotton. Sure, well, yeah, that's... So, it feels like cotton. It's not all the same width, the yarn. It's kind of a varied texture. But it feels nice. It feels really nice. It's attracting all sorts of little bits there. Very woundly tight. No, the phrase is very tightly wound. Very tightly wound. Okay. This is just the perfect shade of blue. It's like, I don't know what I'm going to use this for. But there'll be something. Like, it's not like a shade that's going to go like, oh, so ugly, you know? It's like, no, this is a very pretty shade. So this is Sari Silk hand spun yarn. This is one of the most unusual yarns I have ever seen. I mean, this is silk, like this is silk, but it's not the same texture. I guess the way to describe it is, this is silk before it's spun into the thread, and then this was like silk. They took the silk before it was spun into the thread and then spun it to the yarn, like the extra silk strands that were laying around. This is more like they had silk embroidery thread and they wound it all into a yarn. Like they had lots of scrap embroidery thread and just wound it together into a yarn. The colors are a bit like look at that. There's just a lot going on with that. It's vibrant. They promised novelty. They got that down. Yeah. 100% recycled Sari silk ribbon. This has a phrase, be a connoisseur of new crafts and mediums from around the world because life's too short to make boring projects. That is the phrase to put on this skein of yarn. It would be a challenge to try to make something boring. Like, oh yeah, I'm just going to make like a dishcloth from this. Like that would be a waste of this yarn just to make a dishcloth. This is definitely more of, this yarn is the trim and not the main thing. I'm just in awe. I haven't ever seen anything like this. I think... We got another skein of this. Yeah. Not the same colors, but it's the same yarn. And we got more of the cotton. Yeah, so it's in what I think is very interesting is the fact that they didn't give me just one skein of yarn. So there's only one thing left, and it's not yarn. So I've gotten 6 skeins of yarn from this. And there are 3 different types of yarn, but they gave me 2 skeins of each. So it's enough to make something decent, because often when you just have one skein of something, you often run out. So this way it's like, oh, you want to go a little bit more? Like, yeah, definitely go a little bit more. The last thing we have here are knitting needles and crochet hook. Which I guess it makes sense if you're getting a Like if you're getting like a yarn mystery box, I guess there are chances that you don't have knitting needles or crochet hooks, so it's just good to include at least one set in it. Personally, this is a kit I would get somebody who I already knows like yarn, not someone who is about to start. But it's kind of nice how they match colors like that. To be fair, I don't think I've ever seen something packaged like that where they sell the crochet hook and the knitting needles in a package like that. Usually when I see oh, sorry, I just got distracted by how big it was. It's a size 10 in US sizes. That's big. The typical size is like a 6 through 8. But also, it's weird, like, they got the knitting needles and the crochet hook to be the same diameter, too, which is unusual. Usually when they're, like, when they sell them, they sell the crochet hooks all together, or they sell the knitting needles together. They rarely mix them like this, which... This is a nice set. And then this is the scarf. I mean, now that I'm holding up to the light, I can kind of see there's like some disfiguring, but considering what was inside, that's to be expected. But it's a very beautiful pattern. I mean, it had pointy boxes. Pointy boxes inside what I believe to be a silk scarf. Does this not tell me? It feels like a silk scarf. I mean, silk scarves are kind of fragile to begin with, yeah. Yeah, I was going to go through a thing where I was going to add up how much all of this costs to see if it's worth the price, but I don't think I need to do that. Like, even though I was, like, kind of disappointed at how small it was, the materials that are inside, I feel are worth the price of the box. I'm looking forward to using all this stuff, but, it's like, this is high-end yarn. And the fact that they're mentioning that they're providing safe working conditions and providing livable wages for the people making the yarn, I'm willing to pay more for yarn if it means that the people making my yarn are able to make a living off of the yarn. Like, we're not taking advantage of them. Yeah? I think the next part for me in general is just, as time goes on, just seeing how this material, like what I end up using to make this material. But just to start off with, I would say, like, it doesn't look like there's anything here that's cutting corners. Which is, good. So yeah, that was today's testing of a marketing campaign. Yeah, that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.